What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, we'll be going over the Xenophage Exotic Machine Gun. So on how to obtain this weapon, it's pretty interesting. You have to go to that area where Eris is at whenever you did like the weekly challenges for her, and she tells you about her fire team. There's actually little statues and there's a pattern that you have to do. Don't know off the top of my head. There's somebody who has a guide out there that does it, but essentially you have to hop into the Pit of Heresy, which is the new dungeon on the moon, and you have to unlock a secret room and then get that, and there's some other quest steps in there, but it's really not too bad. Now, just going over the perks, comes with pyrotoxin rounds, fires high-powered explosive ammunition. Definitely interesting. It does not do precision damage, so keep that in mind. Full bore, greatly increases range, decreases stability, and slightly decreases handling speed. High caliber rounds allows you to essentially knock the target back farther, gives you a little bit of flinch, and increases range. Then we have Rangefinder. Aiming this weapon increases its effective range and zoom magnification. Increased projectile velocity while aiming rocket launchers or grenade launchers. This is obviously not that, but you do get to increase the range. Composite stock, slightly increased stability and slightly increases handling speed. Now, I do want to point out that this is a 120 RPM machine gun. This is the slowest firing archetype that we have. You look at the impact, it is extremely high. Range is extremely high. So this essentially is a explosive round sniper, essentially. Now, I do want to address this. At the time of this video, there is a bug with the damage numbers on this weapon. So I think for some of the footage in the future, you will be able to see that the weapon damage will improve if you're using it past Season of the Undying. But in general, you know, in PvE, it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's one of the best heavy weapons to use, because I think there's a lot other heavy weapons that do way more boss DPS damage, or they just have some sort of utility when it comes to a build, and then people end up using some like a special weapon for their DPS, like Izanagi's Burden, or like a special sniper or triple tap, or 4 times a charm or something like that, or even like fusion rifles. So I think when it comes to just the weapon in general for PvE, I think it's more of an entertainment thing. You really don't need to hit enemies at long range in general, so I really don't feel a need to use it in PvE. I will admit you can hit people from far away with good damage, and you can stagger them, so that's all good on that front. But in general, I think there's just better weapons to use in the heavy slot, and as an exotic. It does take up that exotic slot, so you cannot use Izanagi's or any other exotic weapon, so to speak. Now, just going over PvP again, the damage numbers are a little off for the video, so hopefully in the future it will be able to one-tap, but you cannot one-tap this thing. When you pick up the heavy ammo box, it only gives you 3 ammo, so essentially you can get 1.5 kills at full health Guardians, which is kind of weird. I think it should be able to one-tap in the Crucible, but we'll see what happens in the future. In general, it definitely is pretty interesting. You're not able to do precision damage, so as long as you hit somebody in general with this weapon, you will be able to do damage. It can hit from very far away. I've been able to essentially snipe people with the explosive rounds on this thing. I think the only problem is it does take up that exotic slot where other people want to be able to use different exotics. I know a lot of people, you know, especially when it comes to Crucible, everybody wants to use like Wardcliff Coil, or, you know, some sort of crazy good exotic weapon currently in the sandbox. So I think the only problem is with this thing, it does need that damage bonus. They need to fix that so it's able to one-tap in the Crucible. And I really don't mind it being able to one-tap as long as it only has those 3 rounds, which is totally fine with me. You know, maybe even 4. That wouldn't be bad either. Like, if somebody misses it, I'm not saying people are going to miss, but, you know, in general, I think Hammerhead comes with a good amount of ammo, and people just go on streaks with that thing, like 4 or 5 kills. So I wouldn't mind this thing having 4 rounds in it. Again, I think the only problem is currently damage numbers, and it takes up that exotic slot. Just quickly going over Gambit, I think this would be better for the PvP side, especially when they improve the damage on it, and hopefully it's able to one-tap. It definitely makes a lot more sense on that end of it. But I would say, in general, PvE, on that PvE side of Gambit, probably wouldn't use it just because it does take up that exotic slot, and I believe there are other heavy weapons that have a lot more utility. But for the PvP side, I definitely think it'd be interesting. It does have a lot of range, so you will be able to be very, very accurate. And considering all Gambit is just hitting people from long ways away with a machine gun currently. Not saying not saying that's what all people do, but again, in general, that's what people end up doing. Some exotics and perks to use. I can't think of any exotics really, but perks wise, definitely machine gun machine gun reserve, so you have more ammo for this thing. It does not come with a lot of ammo in PvE, so I definitely try to make use of it as long as you have it equipped. But other than that, I can't think of anything. In summary, once this weapon is improved, currently at the time of this video, I'm recording it during the Shadowkeep season of the Undying, so it has that damage bug. But once that damage improves, the damage numbers improve on this thing and it gets buffed, I think this thing can compete on that PvP side of things. Maybe not PvE. Well, time will only tell. I think people will always revert to, you know, what is going to be the best thing to use. And currently this thing is not it, but maybe will be in the future. We're now at the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, but there are 3 things I want to go over. First up, my clan, the D1 Fire Team, is looking for active players in the Destiny community. Our members play all sorts of activities from casual PvE and PvP to the endgame content. If you're actively playing Destiny 2 and want the benefits of a bigger clan, the link to join is below. It'll say clan link. All you have to do is request to join, and myself or one of the admins will approve you. If you're with a smaller clan and want the benefits of a bigger clan, and you have, like, let's say, like 7 to 10 members, I'm just using that as an example, but if you want to come over, just send me a message on any of my social media links and we'll try to get something set up. Number 2, if you want to know how to support me, there's a link below that says best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that would be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and all that good jazz if you want to do any of those things. Lastly, we have a link to the community Discord below. Just a heads up, we're looking for anyone with moderator experience to potentially run the Discord. I know for myself, I'm more of a player instead of a manager, so if you have some moderator experience, just send me a message and we'll try to get something set up. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but if you guys would like to talk or chat with me, Discord is going to be the best way to do those things. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.